Hey traders, Michael from Elite Traders University. So we're looking at going long, pound dollar. We've got about an hour to the open, and we've moved down to the low. Very sharp move down, and I think the market's overplaying its hand. So I'm going to jump in with a few positions tentatively now. I'm pretty sure that I have the right side of the trade. It's a high probability setup, and I'm actually looking for price to break this huge trend line. Okay, so if we get that in, the first stop is one spot 3794. So I'm going to be taking out two positions there, and my last position I'm going to let run for hopefully 70 pips or so. So depending on what the 5-minute bar does here, I'll actually add to my position. So let's come back in a few minutes and see if we get more of a confirmation that we're going upwards, and we'll be adding to what we currently have. Okay, so we entered our position back here, and we came down and we got stopped out, but the setup was still on, so we entered again a number of positions in here, taking out for 11, taking out for 10, taking out for 15, taking out for 17, and so we've reversed our losses, and we still have one position long, which is currently up. How many pips is that? 40 pips. Okay, so this one's still long, and these are the trades that we've taken our profit on with some losses there. So at the moment the wins are exceeding the losses, and here's a great example of unexpected turn of events where yes, we were stopped out initially, however the trade was still valid. There was still a valid setup based on higher time frame market structure, and so I entered again and took out a number of positions, as you can see here, all successful. So we're still up. This last position up 40 pips with the potential to go a lot higher. We're coming into this swing high right now, as you can see with the R1, and my stop is now above break even, and I believe that we could go a lot further. So my position is actually my take profit is about 90 pips high from here, and as you can see we're breaking above this now. We're currently up 44 pips. So let's look at a higher time frame and see what's going on there. So this is a 1 hour chart, and obviously we have a couple of swing highs that are of importance. The first one is this one here, the second one is the one up the top here, and we're breaking up into this first one very strongly, this one here I've just circled, and that also coincides with an R2. We have a pivot up there as well, so that would actually be a great place for price to stop. If I move my take profit down there, would be up how many pips? About 65 pips. Now, based on the current movement we've had in price, for example this big downswing here and also this big upswing here, we could get to that very quickly in the next couple of hours. Now I'm taking note that this is a Friday, and so it would be nice to close my position over the weekend, and so what I'll do is I'll leave my take profit there, and if we get up there then I'll be extremely happy. However, it is possible we move a lot higher, and I notice that we have this long-term trend line in play, and that messes it up. But if we broke through that, we could definitely come up to the 1 spot 39 region, which is another 75 pips away, and that's a bit busy, and even up to 1 spot 4. So that's definitely a possibility. I noticed that this take profit level is in line with that trend line, so I think it's a great place to take profit. So I think I'll leave it there for tonight, and if we get there, it's going to be all well and good. So let's leave it and come back in the morning and see what happens. Okay traders, so we're back the following morning, and as per our analysis we did get a huge increase. Remember we talked about the fact that over here we had this huge push down in price, this huge run up in price, and I suggested that we could get something very similar, and sure enough we did. So massive push up. Now I was very conservative with my last take profit, and I talked about taking it out at the confluence of this trend line here and this previous swing high and the R2. So there's three things there the R2 pivot, the previous swing high, and the trend line, and that's where I took out my last take profit for about 65 pips. However, it broke through that trend line and went for another 65 pips. So that's okay, because we still did very, very, very well. And so let's have a look at the deal map and see what we did. So there's our deal map. Like I said, we got stopped out in our first position, and we got in again. As you can see, our re-entry was right there in that circle, and I actually got in long there as well. Okay, you can see that, 2 positions. I took out a number of positions at plus 11, quite a few, and I took out some more at plus 15, and then some more at plus 17, and I let the last position run, which turned out to be plus 66. So, and there it is at the trend line and the R2, and confluence with the previous swing high. And so if we look at our history for today, there we go. So this 36 was taken out on Aussie dollar, 65 on the pound, 17.15. So a really, really nice run, pips on the pound there, and with a couple of losses in there as well. So brilliant finish to the day. I didn't really expect it to run this hard on Friday. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But wow, this thing really took off, and even in the end, the close of the day, no selling at all. So we're looking into a really, really bullish next week, and yeah, great finish to the week. But let's have a quick look at the Aussie dollar and look at that trade as well. So here's the trade on the Aussie, and it was much more conservative because most of my capital for the day was going to the pound trade. As you can see, there's my entry there. From the low, it is 13 pips. First position taken out for plus 15, last position taken out very, very conservatively for plus 36. So 100% for the day, and there it is. But guys, if you're enjoying this content, if you're enjoying the trades, then like the video, subscribe, and there's also a way to connect with us in the description box beneath if you'd like to talk with me about your trading and about what we offer in our university and how we train our students to get precision entries like this. Then this is what we actually teach you to do. So this is how you get asymmetric reward to risk, where we actually teach you to buy the tops and bottoms of the markets like this. Here's my entries, the bottom of this market, with the potential for large swing moves. That allows us to have very, very small risk. Again, here's my risk relative to my reward: 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 to that, but there was actually another 4 times on that if I held it longer. So get in touch with us, and we'd love to see you in the university and show you how you can actually take your trading to a level that you never believed existed before. Alright guys, have an amazing weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video.